Hello everyone. The book I'm going to talk about today is one of my favorite horror books of the year. I got thinking about that, the best horror books of the year. Who says there only has to be 10? Because right now I'm up to about 6 or 7 now, and it's just about halfway through the year. There's a lot more reading to do, a lot more books coming out, and it's hard for me to choose, but this one I have to make room for. So who says it has to be just top 10 at the end of the year? Maybe it can be top 11, top 12, top 15. Anyway, I'll make that video around December. So I'll make up my mind then. But this book is definitely going to be in there somewhere. That's how good it is. Before we start, I want to remind you that I have books for sale. And if you want to read any of the books you see on your screen, you can do so at the link in the description. And if you do that, I hope you enjoy them. All right, let's get started. Yes. The book I'm going to talk about today is called The Devil Takes You Home by Gabino Iglesias. I love Gabino Iglesias. The last book by him I read was called Zero Saints, and I did a review for that. You can find that in my videos here on my channel. I believe that was last year. And I love that book. But this book just goes above and beyond even that book. I mean, it's just he excelled at this book. Deservedly won a Stoker Award, and I believe it's up for a Shirley Jackson Award. And it is absolutely justified because he just keeps getting better and better and better. This is about a young man named Mario who lives in Austin, Texas. He's multi-ethnic. He has a wife and a daughter, but something beyond his control happens to his family. I'm not going to say what, even though it's at the beginning of the book, and you'll learn soon enough if you read it. I don't want to give away too much about this book because some of the surprises in here are really, really amazing. But he loses his wife and daughter, and he's a good man, but he is now doing some very, very bad, horrible things for money. His best friend has talked him into doing some of these things, promising him that, you know, he needs money to live and this will pay the bills. And he justifies those bad things he does because of what's eaten away at him inside with a situation with his family. And so he kind of justifies these bad things he's doing even though he is a good man. And you get that out throughout the whole book. Like, yes, he does terrible things, but you can't help but feel sympathy for this character, for Mario, because he's really just a good guy who's caught in his emotions and his head and circumstances beyond his control. Well, he and his friend, or his friend tells him one day that he's got one more job for them to do, because this job is going to pay them so much money that they never have to worry about money ever again. Life-changing money. They can start their lives over, get out of these bad things they're doing, and just live a normal, happy life. And in Mario's mind, he's thinking, maybe I can get my wife back with this much money. I can make my amends, and this will be a good start for us again. But this job is for the cartel. And when they go to meet the guy in charge, they have a choice to make. If they say that they're in, that they're going to do this job, they cannot back out. They are there the whole way, 100%, and that is it, because you don't mess with the cartel. It's kind of a suicide mission almost, but this man is very convincing that they can pull it off, that he knows connections, he knows people, he can make things happen. And so they're going to go on this road trip to another part of Texas to go ahead and do this job because they both say yes, because that kind of money is something they can't pass up. So now they are in this situation. And during this road trip, this book is a noirish kind of title, and things just go from bad to worse to horrifying to and frightening in quick order, because every place they go on the way just to meet or just to do this job, it turns into something violent and brutal and bloody. And that's one thing I really loved about this book. This author writes, his prose is excellent. It's almost poetic in its nature. And when you compare that to the scenes of extreme violence and bloodshed that he throws in every so often during what's happening with this trio, and the places they go and the people they encounter, it's jarring in a very, very good way, because it takes you in mentally and emotionally, those different kinds of passages, you know, from this beautiful poetic narrative, and then something so horrifying that your mind can't almost grasp it. the violence that takes place during the course of this book. And that's one thing that made it very effective. There is also a supernatural thread running through this book, which just adds to that mystery and that dread and that frightening feeling you get whenever they encounter a new situation or new people. Because even though the supernatural element isn't really the main focus of this book, that extra layer, when compared to the actual real world physical bloodshed and violence and brutality that is going on throughout this novel, really gives it that something extra special, that extra edge that I just found totally captivating, completely engaging. And it's a book, when you start reading it, you do not want to put down. It is absolutely excellent, and I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but I want to say this so that when you read it, you'll know how I feel. You can come back here and leave your comment about how you feel, but that ending is mwah. That was the perfect ending, and I'm still processing that ending. I'm not sure if it's a good ending for our character or a bad ending. Most people might say it's a bad ending, but compared to what he was thinking and some of his thought processes throughout the rest of the novel, perhaps for him this was the best ending he could have had. It is kind of sad, it is kind of surprising, and it's also kind of really bittersweet, I guess you can say, because maybe he got what he wanted, but maybe he didn't want to get it like that. Let's just put it that way. But when you read it, you, like I said, come back here, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought about that ending. Because I still can't decide if I'm happy for Mario or sad for Mario. And I love when a book can do that. After I read it, I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, and there are images and scenes in this book that you will not be able to get out of your head after you read it. I guarantee you that. And this is simply one of the best written, action-packed, supernatural, bloody and brutal books you're going to read all year. And it, like I said, it's definitely going on my top horror books of 2023. And you definitely need to pick this one up. The Devil Takes You Home. There is a link down below where you can order it through Amazon, and I highly, highly suggest you do. And as always, I want to say thank you for taking some of your time, spending it here with me. I really appreciate you guys watching. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.